Good evening, namaskar, adab. Salman Khan, the man who is described as the bhai for Bollywood, finally perhaps meeting his fate. Now I really don't know, folks. I really don't know what is it with Bollywood celebrities and their insatiable desire to somehow violate the law. From the big B, Amitabh Bachchan himself, who got caught in farmers' land dispute many years back, to Shah Rukh Khan, who has been facing some serious allegations on the tax evasion front, even getting involved in a brawl with ground staffers in a cricket stadium, to now Salman Khan. The truth is this, for all Salman fans, if you go back in time, and if you look at how Salman Khan has dealt with this case of killing of the black buck, look at how he was sitting in 1998 in that police station in Jodhpur while members of the Bishnoi community were asking him to be a part of investigations. And look at how Salman Khan is sitting today in 2018. 2 decades can do a lot to an individual's life. There Salman's legs sitting with his legs on the table, giving this impression that he doesn't give a damn about anything. Now Salman Khan, as he sits in the police station now, convicted of a very serious charge of killing a black buck, perhaps Salman Khan would be thinking of life over these last 20 years. The story tonight is not just about Salman Khan being convicted of killing of an animal in a very brutal manner. Story is also how he thought he could get away despite doing all this. Fact is that there was some serious evidence which existed against Salman Khan, but that picture in 1998 that we put up for you tonight, that picture tells you what Salman Khan thought he could do. He thought that he was Salman Khan, and well, over the last 2 decades as he got thousands and thousands of crores in his bank account, he thought that maybe money could ultimately help him do away with the very basic precincts of justice. But that has not happened. Let's bring you up to speed with the big developments on what has happened. But before that, before we come to Salman Khan's story, let's bring you up to speed with another big story which has broken just a short while back, which we introduced right at the top of the program. Rajiv Kochar, the brother-in-law of ICICI Bank MD and CEO Ms. Chanda Kochar, has been detained by the immigration authorities at Mumbai airport earlier. He was scheduled to leave for a Southeast Asian country. He was then handed over to the CBI investigators who questioned him in connection with bank's dealings with Videocon Group. And finally, what we're hearing is that he has been arrested. So officially the CBI has arrested him in that case, which has been buzzing now for quite a while about whether there was any relationship between dealings of Videocon Bank, some loans which were given to Videocon Bank, Chanda Kochar's bank, ICICI Bank, which he has led now for quite a while. The ICICI Bank stood like a rock behind Chanda Kochar. They issued a detailed press release and said that Ms. Kochar was not the chairperson of the loan disbursal committee at the time when that Videocon loan was given. A sum of 40,000 crores was what was sought for by Videocon Group. The ICICI Bank's contention was that a total of 3,250 crores is what was offered to the Videocon Group. So they said that because Ms. Kochar was not the chairperson of the disbursal committee and she had only taken over as the MD and CEO after that loan was given, and that loan was given post the formation of a consortium of 20 banks which was led by the State Bank of India itself. Therefore, it would have been wrong to single out Ms. Chanda Kochar. Shubhajit Sen Gupta joining us on the phone line. Shubho, Rajiv Kochar being arrested, what does this mean? Does this mean trouble brewing for Chanda Kochar, or is her role completely insulated from Rajiv Kochar's arrest?
Well, if you look into what the agency is saying, what they're saying is ICICI Bank had mandated the Singapore to restructure foreign currency debts which were worth over 1.5 billion. This included seven companies over 6 years, and that also included that of Videocon Group of companies. So 2 things which come out here very clearly is that, one, that Videocon Group of companies are not the only one. There are other companies in the fray as well. And second, the fact that ICICI Bank was giving it, and ICICI Bank was led by Chanda Kochar, who happens to, and Rajesh Kochar happens to be his brother-in-law. That brings into the entire question which the CBI is investigating right now, that whether or not any personal benefits were given in, was there a larger conspiracy which is there, and that's why it's been investigated, and seems to be some wrongdoing which has been found, which is the reason why he has been arrested right now.
No, do we know exactly? Let's look for the reasons, because what we were told, and I've been in touch with the authorities at the very top on this case, what I was told was this, that the story is not about disbursal of the loan. The story is that out of this 3,250 crore loan which was given by the ICICI Bank at the time when Ms. Kochar was not the chairperson of this loan disbursal committee, the investigators are alleging that out of this 3,250 crores, only 500 crore was returned by the Videocon group to the ICICI Bank, and then the remaining roughly 2,700 crores was shown as NPA, as a non-performing asset, as a loan which had gone back. And they say that that loan having gone back was done allegedly with facilitation of Rajiv Kochar. The woman who could answer all these questions, the India's top business journalist, I often describe her, Lata Venkatesh, is joining us on the phone line. Lata, how do I look at this? A week back I was asking you to tell us about your thoughts on the explanation which was given by the ICICI Bank. Now Chanda Kochar's brother-in-law being arrested. What do I make out of the situation now, Lata?
No, this is certainly an embarrassment, and more than that, nowhere is a brother-in-law described as, as a disclosure that has to be made, because I think it's only spouse or immediate dependents whose disclosures you have to make. You really don't have much control over a brother-in-law. But this is beyond that. This is, ICICI actually gave us a statement when we asked them about Avesta Investments. They said we have nothing to do with the company. Now, if the CBI is able to prove a link and is able to, this is only an allegation and an arrest at this point in time. It has not been proved. But still, one would assume that the CBI has some prima facie.
No, but I'll tell you, Lata, I'll tell you in Delhi, what I was told by the authorities who've been looking at this case. Lata, if you can hear me, I was just trying to ask you, Lata, that in Delhi, I've been speaking to authorities at the top, and what they are telling me is this, and maybe you can throw some light on this, that out of this loan of 3,250 crores, which is admitted by the ICICI Bank, which was given to the Videocon group by the ICICI Bank at a time when Ms. Kochar was not the MD and CEO, what the CBI wants to know is this, that how is it that out of those 3,250 crores, only 500 crore was returned to the ICICI Bank, the remaining was shown as an NPA, and what the CBI is now trying to prove is this, that Rajiv Kochar had a prominent role to play in that 2,700 crores being shown as an NPA at a time when Ms. Kochar was the MD and CEO. How does one explain that situation?
No, I think we are confusing two separate issues. The Videocon loan is 40,000 crores to a dozen banks.
Right.
And it was, the consortium is headed by SBI. It is an NPA with all the banks. It's an NPA with SBI. And it is an NPA with probably Axis Bank, as I'm not very sure. It's certainly a NPA, ICICI, and a whole host of public sector banks. So they are confusing two different things. It became an NPA because he could not pay his interest to any of the banks. Now, is Rajiv Kochar, involved with SBI?
The CBI's no, but the CBI's allegation, Lata. The CBI's allegation is that that Rajiv Kochar perhaps had a role to play, at least as far as that ICICI piece was concerned. That's what they're looking at, and that's why perhaps Mr. Kochar has been arrested.
No, I mean, your ability to pay or not pay cannot be restricted, cannot be because of one person intervening in one loan. That I find a little difficult to believe. I think the Videocon loan going bad is because of different things. Crude prices fell, and they have a huge investment in oil field near Brazil.
Right.
This has got nothing to do with one person's machination. But separately, this is a huge embarrassment that you are actually your brother-in-law's company was involved in the loans you gave or in the restructuring of the loans you gave. That is the embarrassment. That is the impropriety.
Have you managed to speak at all?
No, I don't think one person can make the loan go bad.
Fair point.
Other banks. Why would SBI keep quiet?
Fair point. I agree with you. I'm only trying to draw your attention to the case which the CBI says it's trying to build against Mr. Kochar. Therefore, it's important for all our viewers to know this from you and get that link going clearly between Delhi and Mumbai. My next question to you, Lata. Have you managed to touch base with Ms. Kochar herself? Have you managed to speak to Chanda Kochar herself, Lata?
No, I haven't. We've got only an official statement from them, and we spoke to, of course, Mr. Bagul, and we spoke to Deepak Kochar himself. We did not speak to Chanda.
Okay, maybe Lata, what I'll do is I'll ask my producers to redial you because there's a problem with that audio connection. But it's interesting the manner in which this entire case is developing. Yesterday, news came out that Ms. Kochar had decided to recuse herself from the FICCI Ladies Organization event, which was to be inaugurated by the President herself. Before that, there were a couple of ICICI Bank events which were earlier being spearheaded by her. She decided to skip those public functions as well. So Ms. Kochar clearly feeling the heat. Now with her brother-in-law being officially arrested, Rajiv Kochar, her husband's brother, officially being arrested by the CBI in this Videocon loans case is something which is bound to create more trouble perhaps for Ms. Kochar. Shubhajit is still there on the line with us, and as we try and get you more reactions on that big story. Shubhajit, what's the CBI's next step? Do we know exactly the story that I'm building up for our viewers, and we're trying to inform our viewers about why the CBI has arrested this person? Do we know that was the CBI worried that if Mr. Kochar was to go out of India on whatever business trip again, he would have become a part of the group which was not going to come back? Is that the reason why he's been arrested?
Well, that is of course one of the worries which were there. Basically what they're scared of was that he was going to Singapore, and there's the fact that he was leaving Mumbai at a time when the investigation was at its peak, when all these dealings of the bank was being looked into, and made them suspect that there could be some issue. That's why he was detained at the by the immigration authorities at the Mumbai airport.
Right.
After he was leaving for Singapore, and at that point of time he was stopped and questioned. Once the questioning went on for a bit, that's when they realized he has to be arrested, and that's when they went ahead and made the arrest. Not just that, in fact, the impropriety or the alleged scam which is coming out is this, that, this man owned a company called Avista Advisory Group, and this was involved in restructuring of foreign currency debts which were of 1.5 billion, and this included the debts which were there of the Videocon group of companies as well.
Okay.
So there was a nexus which was being built, that while it was one side NPAs were being declared, on the other hand, these were being restructured by someone who was...
But as Lata Venkatesh points out very, very importantly, that the truth is that this loan which was given to the Videocon group was a loan of 40,000 crores, which was given by a consortium of 20 banks, of which ICICI was just a small player, and the overall sum which was given by the ICICI Bank to the Videocon group was less than 10% of what had been sought for. So how is it possible, if Rajiv Kochar allegedly, as a CBI wants us to believe, was involved in a major chunk of that loan becoming an NPA, then what explains the other banks? How did the Videocon group manage to convert the loans which were offered to it, which were given to it by the other banks? How did those loans also go bad? Who were the other people who were involved? Were there other people involved, or are we completely missing the wood for the trees? That's something that we need to find out very, very carefully. Gaurav Chaudhary, editor from moneycontrol.com, joining us on the line as well. Gaurav, what do you have for us? Is this, let's be clear, is this just a symbolic exercise which we're seeing from the government, that let's do a crackdown on corruption because the government is on the back foot on multiple issues? Is that the reason, or is there some genuine case this time that we're talking about?
It appears there is some genuine case. Also the fact, Bhupen, that he was detained at the airport and not somewhere else, it also points to a fact that whether he was actually trying to escape the country. That needs to be seen. Maybe there was a Nirav Modi kind of an escape that was being planned. Why was he trying to leave the country? That is a question that the CBI will now try to investigate. He was supposed to leave for Singapore, and what was the reason that he was leaving out when an investigation was already on? In a recent interview he has said that while ICICI Bank Limited has mounted a defense of Chanda Kochar against allegations of financial impropriety, she herself has found herself in the eye of a storm again, with Subramanian Swamy calling for a probe into the dealings of financial services from Avista Advisory, which is founded by Rajiv Kochar. Avista was founded by Rajiv Kochar, and he said that his firm does not have any business arrangement with ICICI Bank. That is something that needs further investigation. So it could be much more than what the dealings with Videocon Group is.
Okay, Gaurav Chaudhary, thanks so much. Thanks so much for that quick update. We'll keep a close eye. We'll keep a close eye on that story. We're talking about India's biggest bank. We're talking about the brother-in-law of a person who has been hosted, felicitated. She's been named as one of the most influential women in the global economic world. Now there seems to be a serious crisis which is brewing. What happens on that story? We'll look at that story very, very closely. Let's come back though. Let's come back and let's look at the main focus, the other key focus on the program tonight. Salman Khan being convicted. So what really happened? What happened in a court in Jodhpur is this. After a good 20-year long wait, Salman Khan was convicted in one of those 5 cases which have been filed against him. What did he plead? Salman Khan in court said, I have never been convicted in any case. He says, I have been facing trial for almost 2 decades. He went on to build a case for himself that I have never hidden anything from anyone. I have regularly attended court whenever summoned. So what is the need to arrest me? He also goes on to say that I have spent 5 days in detention in a forest department guest house. Punishment will impact livelihood of people attached to me. What did the public prosecutor argue, given all these statements which were being made by Salman Khan? The public prosecutor argued that Salman had killed black bucks, which happens to be an endangered species. He is a superstar and his actions will set a wrong example for others. He is also accused of killing 2 other deer in the past. He also happens to be an accused in a hit and run case. He killed black bucks for fun. And while all this was happening, next to Salman was his sister and his longtime bodyguard, Shera. Salman Khan doesn't go anywhere without his bodyguard. So there was emotional support for him. There was, of course, stop and legal aid for Salman Khan. Unfortunately, all that hasn't really ended up on the right side for Salman Khan. So what really happened in conclusion, post the arguments on both sides? The judge says Salman Khan stands guilty of hunting black bucks. He goes on to say that Salman is to be sentenced to 5 years simple imprisonment and fine of 10,000 rupees. He says that punishment which ranges from 6 months to 5 years, Salman deserves the maximum punishment because Salman Khan happens to be a celebrity and his actions will end up impacting other sections of our society as well. But Salman Khan has been convicted in only one of those 5 cases. What's the status? What's the legal status of this entire story of killing of black bucks for Salman Khan? It's a story of 5 cases. 5 cases and 1 conviction. So let's take you through all those cases. Case number 1, he killed 2 black bucks in October 1998 in Jodhpur. Convicted today, 5-year jail. Then case number 2, 2 other poaching cases which exist. Charge, he killed a chinkara in the month of September in 1998, specifically on the 27th of September. Trial pending in the court. And then there is another one, chinkara poaching case charge, poached 2 chinkaras on the 29th of September in Jodhpur. Again, the trial has been pending in the Supreme Court. In 2002, there was a hit and run case in which again Salman Khan's name came up. Charge, 1 person killed, 4 others injured near Bandra in Mumbai. What's the status? The trial is still pending in a court in Bandra. Then there was also the Arms Act case. He was accused of having kept a firearm with an expired license. Trial is still pending in a lower court in Rajasthan. Then there were many other instances in which Salman Khan has often been accused of having flirted with the law. And that's what we need to look at closely. Why is it that Salman Khan forever has been a controversy child? If you look at the kind of conviction which has taken place under the Wildlife Protection Act right from 2014, 15 and 16, according to the data which is available with the NCRB board, in 2016 it was the highest at 71.5%. So what does that tell you? What that tells you is that Salman Khan was violating a law in which the rate of conviction happens to be very, very high. Let's take a straight position then on Salman Khan. Is he being victimized? Is this a case of justice being delayed, or is this a case of justice finally being dished out irrespective of who that individual is? So what if he happens to be Salman Khan? I believe, folks, that this is a verdict which, of course, without doubt, should have come much, much earlier. Fact is that there was enough evidence, as we've seen over these years, to prove that something had happened. There was an animal that died. Surely that animal had not committed suicide. That animal had been killed by someone. And according to eyewitnesses, Salman Khan, post-killing that black buck, had brutally slit the throat of that black buck. Now, maybe Salman is very fond of hunting, but he must be aware of the fact that in many parts of India, hunting is not allowed, and most certainly in those parts of India where he was indulging in that wild game exercise. But what troubles me the most tonight, folks, is that heavyweights within our film industry have again come out in strong support of the good side of Salman Khan. What are these heavyweights doing? They're asking for the courts to also accept the good side of Salman Khan. They are saying that what if Salman Khan, if he committed a crime, yes indeed, law needs to catch up with him, but then please also look at all the good deeds which are being done by him. What does that prove? That proves once again to us that folks of Tinsel Town, privileged people of Bollywood, they want to have two sets of laws. There is one set of laws for themselves, and then they want another set of laws for the common folk. My point is, how is it possible? If Salman Khan has to face the law, then he must face the law like you would face or like I would face. Let's see whether our panelists can demolish that rather blunt viewpoint on the program tonight. Let's raise a blunt question on the program. What's happening with Salman Khan? Is Salman Bhaijan and being human Salman above the law of the land? Joining us to answer that big question, full panel, Zafar Sareshwala, a well-known family friend of Salman Khan, Ramnivas Bishnoi, he's the president of Tiger Force, he's the one who's been leading this entire campaign against Salman for a while. Sonam Paul, well-known entrepreneur, she's joining us live. Mukesh Tyagi, well-known film producer, knows Salman Khan personally. Sujay Kantawala, lawyer. Advaita Kala, author. Rajiv Basan, our entertainment editor, is there with us as well. Welcome to all of you on the program. Let me first begin with you, Zafar Sareshwala. How do you look at this situation, Zafar Sareshwala? Has justice been done? Has justice finally been done? Should this sentence against Salman Khan, should this decision against Salman Khan have been given a long time back?
Bhupen, this is the issue of the judiciary system of our country. I mean, this is not the only case where it has taken 20 years. You take every single case, it takes 20-25 years to come to the conclusion. Now, in Salman Khan's case, and this has been the position taken by Salman Khan and his family, and it's my position also.
Which is?
I mean, I don't want to make any comment on the judgment today. The honorable judge, whatever was placed before him within the ambit of law, the witnesses, he has come with a judgment. In fact, today morning when I was with Salim Saab, he said exactly the same thing, that we pray that he is wo bari ho jaye bilkul. If not, then yes, this is the lower court, we'll take our case to the higher court, and we respect the judiciary, and he used the word in Urdu, sar aankhon par, jo bhi aayega. So my view also is that I don't want to make any comment on what the judgment has come.
No.
It is in the wisdom of the judge,
right?
And any comment should be
But
before the judgment has come.
But Zafar Bhai, my only point. Zafar Bhai, my point is that when a judgment is delivered after 2 decades, and we were showing those pictures, and maybe our producers can once again put those pictures up of Salman Khan in 1998 and Salman Khan now in 2018. A lot of water has flown under the bridge. I was just looking at those pictures of Salman in 1998, and as much as I'm a fan of Salman Khan, I was appalled. What it tells me is this, Zafar Bhai, and I must put this on the table tonight. What it tells me is that maybe Salman Khan was convinced. There you have those pictures, just look at them. Salman Khan's body language, look at that. In 1998, when the incident had just been reported, he's sitting like he was sitting in a film shoot. Now the people who are sitting next to him are not his friends, they're not his fans. These are the people who want to file a case against him. Now, how exactly should we, the viewers, be looking at this decision which has been delivered today and this picture which I am seeing of Salman Khan in 1998? Zafar Bhai, was Salman Khan convinced that he'll be able to hoodwink the law in some way, get expensive, good, top-end legal aid and ensure that this judgment is not delivered against you? Is that why this judgment has come after 2 decades?
See, Bhupen, I know a different Salman Khan. I mean, what you are showing this picture of 98, I don't know. The Salman Khan which I know is for 11 years now. And this Salman Khan is a perfect human being. For 11 years I've been seeing. It's not that, and I'm not somebody who would be impressed. Who would be impressed by anything. I'm not making any comment on the judgment today. But you have raked this about what Salman Khan was. But in 11 years, I think I have known a lot of other film fraternity, you know that. I'm very close with other film stars also.
No, I'm also very close to many film stars.
With Salman Khan,
but I'm not on that point.
I have not seen.
Sir.
No, he is a perfect human being. In last 11 years, his record and his consistency. See, whatever has happened in 98 and 2002.
बिश्नोई जी जरा ये बताइए, जफर साहब एक सेकंड, जफर साहब का ये उनका आर्ग्यूमेंट है बिश्नोई जी कि भाई सलमान खान तो देखिए बहुत अच्छे व्यक्ति हैं, बहुत अच्छे इंसान हैं, बीइंग ह्यूमन चलाते हैं, अच्छी चीजें करते हैं, अच्छी फिल्में बनाते हैं, लोगों का मनोरंजन करते हैं, तो क्या ये जो फैसला जो आया, क्या ये फैसला गलत था? क्या ये सही फैसला है, गलत फैसला है बिश्नोई जी?
सर, मैं जफर भाई से पूछना चाहूंगा कि उनकी अच्छाई की परिभाषा क्या है, वो मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रही है। वो यहाँ पे 3-3, 4-4 हिरणों को मारते हैं, 2 चिंकारा को मारते हैं, 2 ब्लैक बक को मारते हैं, उसके बाद में वो 8-10 लोगों को रोड पे सोए हुए लोगों को मारते हैं, वो मीडिया के लोगों से बदतमीजी करते हैं, वो एक जाति विशेष के लोगों के लिए जाति सूचक शब्द का प्रयोग करते हैं, वो एक महिला के लिए बलात्कारी हुई पीड़िता महिला जैसी स्थिति की बखान करते हैं। तो मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि जफर भाई को कौन से एंगल से सलमान खान बहुत अच्छे इंसान लग रहे हैं।
लेकिन अगर वो अच्छे हैं
तो जफर भाई की परिभाषा अच्छाई की
इससे पहले मैं एक सेकंड, इससे पहले कि जफर भाई उसका जवाब दे, मैं अगर आपसे पूछूं बिश्नोई जी की ये बताइए, अगर इस मामले में सलमान खान मुख्य अभियुक्त न होते, व्हाट इफ इट वाज नॉट सलमान खान? व्हाट इफ द पर्सन अगेंस्ट हुम दिस केस वाज फाइल्ड वाज नॉट सलमान खान? इफ इट वाज, अगर वो कोई ऑर्डिनरी आदमी होता, एक आम आदमी होता, क्या आप इसी प्रकार से जिन शब्दों का अभी आप प्रयोग कर रहे हैं, जो ज़ील आपने दिखाई, आप लोग 2 दशक तक लड़े, 20 वर्षों तक लड़े, क्या आप लड़ते अगर कोई और व्यक्ति होता, अगर सलमान खान नहीं होता तो?
जी सर, यही मैं पॉइंट की बात है, इसी पे आना चाहूंगा।
बताएं।
क्या अगर आम आदमी शिकारी यहाँ पे पिछले 10 साल से 1500 केस रजिस्टर्ड हुए हैं वाइल्ड लाइफ एक्ट के तहत शिकार के, क्या आप लोगों ने एक आम शिकारी की डिबेट इस प्रकार से चलाई है? नहीं चलाई। पिछली बार मीडिया ने एक सवाल मुझसे पूछा था, मेरा यही जवाब था कि हम लोग प्रत्येक केस के लिए कोर्ट में आते हैं, जो हमारे गवाह होते हैं वो गवाही देते हैं, और जब तक फैसला नहीं आ जाता हम लोग कोर्ट में फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट का सहयोग करते हैं। तो जिस प्रकार से सलमान खान नहीं होता, परसों एक केस की सुनवाई थी, सलमान खान नहीं था, हम तो कोर्ट में थे सर, मीडिया के लोग भी थे, नहीं थे, और जफर भाई भी उसके लिए चिंतित नहीं थे। ये तो सलमान खान है, इसलिए जफर भाई को चिंता हो रही है।
क्यों जफर साहब? How would you respond to this? That the film industry, Zafar bhai, Jaya Bachchan is on record. From Jaya Bachchan to Arjun Rampal, everyone is saying, my heart is beating today for Salman Khan. He is such a nice person. Well, maybe he is a nice person, Zafar Sareshwala. But if he committed this crime, then he must be punished for that crime. Why should he not be punished for that crime, Zafar Sareshwala? That's a question from Mr. Bishnoi and from me.
देखिए बिश्नोई साहब, मैं आपको एक बात कहूंगा, मैं बिश्नोई समाज के बारे में बहुत मतलब मुझे बहुत इज्जत है आपकी, इसलिए कि आप लोग जो ब्लैक बक की और सिनकारा का जिस तरह से आपने उसके लिए जो ज़ील दिखाया है वो काबिल है, बिल्कुल उसका मैं वो नहीं करता। लेकिन मैं सलमान खान को बहुत करीब से जानता हूं,
तो उससे क्या
आदमी से गलती हो सकती है, तो एक आदमी में 100 चीजें हैं,
ये तो कानून का उल्लंघन है ना,
100 चीजें हो सकता है कि 5 गलती हो, लेकिन 95 की जो अच्छाइयां हैं,
बट दिस इज वायलेशन ऑफ लॉ सर, दिस इज वायलेशन ऑफ लॉ सर। आई मे बी आई एम अ ग्रेट ह्यूमन बीइंग, आई मे से आई एम अ ग्रेट ह्यूमन बीइंग, I am a great human being. Does that mean that if I break the law, if I violate the law, does it mean that I should be given benefit of doubt because I am a great human being?
भूपेन, आई एम नॉट क्वेश्चनिंग द जजमेंट। मैंने तो कहा कि जो जजमेंट आया सर आंखों पर,
लेकिन आप बार बार बात यही कर रहे हैं कि वो अच्छे आदमी हैं।
लेकिन
बिश्नोई साहब
नहीं तो अच्छे आदमी तो है ही भाई। एक आदमी से अगर गलती हो गई, सुनिए, अगर एक आदमी से गलती हो गई और उसका वो प्रायश्चित करता है, ये पुरानी गलती है।
सलमान खान अगर कोर्ट में आज खड़ा होकर कह देता,
एक चीज के ऊपर क्यों आप वो करते हैं?
सुन लीजिए बिश्नोई साहब से सुन लीजिए। हाँ बताइए, बोलिए बिश्नोई साहब।
सर मैं कह रहा हूं कि आज अगर सलमान खान कोर्ट के अंदर ये कह देता कि हाँ मेरे से ये गलती हुई है और मैं ये स्वीकार कर रहा हूं और अब मैं बदल गया हूं और मैं सुधरना चाहता हूं और मुझे मौका दिया जाए सुधरने का, मैं सोचता हूं अगर ये 5 साल की सजा नहीं देके कोर्ट उनको 2 साल की सजा देता और शायद उसको सुधरने का मौका देता। लेकिन अगर सलमान खान ने ये नहीं दिखाई, दरियादिली नहीं करनी, वो तो अभी तक कह रहे हैं कि मैंने ये क्राइम किया ही नहीं।
That's where the problem is. Let me just bring in Sonam on this one. I'm looking at this judgment, Sonam, which has been delivered by the judge today, by the magistrate in Jodhpur, and look at what the judge says. He says very clearly. He says Salman Khan is a superstar, and whatever actions he does, those actions can be followed by people who follow him. So if I am someone who's a huge fan of Salman Khan, I can be influenced by any activity that Salman Khan indulges in. If I was to say that actually Salman Khan, and I'm trying to counter argue it now, that Salman Khan is being victimized, that the judge is not looking at Salman Khan just as an ordinary criminal, he's saying because he's Salman Khan, therefore I must deal with him in the strongest possible manner, therefore the others, frankly Saif Ali Khan and all the Sonali Bendres of the world, they're all, I mean their careers are as good as gone. But Salman Khan's career is, look at where it is.
Yeah.
Has he paid the price for being Salman Khan, for being the celebrity that he is?
I agree with you. He has paid the price of being the celebrity that he is. He is India's most loved celebrity, and he does a lot of charity. All of that is true. He is compassionate, humanistic. All that is fine. He has violated the law and he must be punished for it. However, I do feel that the sentence given to him, 5 years, is a bit too long and a bit harsh.
Why is it harsh?
Why? Because
because that's the law, and the judge says that since he happens to be a superstar, therefore I must give him exemplary punishment so that there can be a deterrent impact.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But that said, on the other hand, everybody says that everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. Then why weigh Salman Khan differently? I personally feel that had it been any ordinary human being, the punishment ranges anywhere from 6 months to 5 years. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable.
I'll bring in Sujay Kantawala and Advaita Kala on that one, but I just want to go to my colleague Rajiv Masan, who's standing by as well, just to get a sense in terms of how the film industry today is looking at this judgment. Rajiv, is there a sense of shock? Give us some idea about how much money is actually riding on Salman Khan as we speak today, of this possibility of him spending this night for sure in jail today.
There certainly was an element of shock, because I think the larger feeling until yesterday was that he would get off lightly. I mean, there was no reason to believe. There was, everything leading up to this, in the past, the cases that he's had, it seemed like, it worked in his favor. So there was no reason for them to think that this would be the verdict that would come out today. So I do believe that there is a feeling of shock that they felt when the verdict was announced. As far as the money riding on Salman Khan is concerned, of course he's very important. Of course he's a top star. He's got projects that are currently in production. But I think that's really that's not the right narrative to take. Bhupin, the fact that we're talking about that almost sort of seems to make us want to consider some sense of sympathy. Why should it matter if Salman Khan is if there are so many jobs and so many livelihoods dependent on Salman Khan, and therefore the court should be a little bit more lenient to Salman Khan, whereas someone who's an ordinary person who commits that crime, who nobody depends on, should go in for longer. That argument does not make sense. It seems extremely fair.
But Rajiv, every person of the industry, every tweet that I have seen, from Arjun Rampal to Jaya Bachchan to Akash Soni to everyone, is only, and look at Zafar Sareshwala, his argument is also the same. He's such a great person, he's such a great human being. We should be looking at this fact that he's a great human being and not what happened in 1998. Why should I then be saying that film industry is indulging, frankly, in what is a typical trademark of the industry, which is hypocrisy?
I won't go that far. I will say, however, that this is typical. Why are we surprised? This is typical. It is the typical response from the film industry. You tend to gather and rally around your friends, your family. Salman Khan is a son of the industry. Salman Khan's, born to the industry, if you like. He's a second-generation film person. There are so many jobs dependent on him. He's worked with all of these people. The response from the industry is not surprising at all. They always rally around their own. Look at Sanjay Dutt, someone who's important, someone who's who's been a part of the industry. This is exactly how they would respond. But I think it's really what Mr. Zafar is saying, and even Mr. Bishnoi. I think neither of those arguments. I mean, certainly it should not be taken into consideration what a good man he is, what what work he does. I mean, this is the court of law. You made a mistake, you pay for it. You do the time for the crime that you commit, and that really should be the way to view it. It's sad that the film industry is not able to look at it that way, but that's understandable. That is how one responds when one's family or friends or anyone that means a lot to you is in that position. I'm not surprised by that response from the industry, frankly.
All right, Rajiv, thanks a ton. You've had a long day. I'll let you go. But the truth is this, that exactly the sentiment which is being expressed by members of the film industry today was a sentiment which was being expressed when Sanjay Dutt was also made to see his fate for his involvement in alleged terror activities. But Sujay Kantawala, I just want to settle this legal debate which had been flagged off by Sonam, Bishnoi ji, Zafar Sareshwala, and Rajiv was also alluding to it. And I'm looking very closely at this judgment which has been delivered. And look at what the judge says. The judge, Sujay, says very clearly that the crime is such and the person who's committing the crime is such that he deserves the maximum punishment, which is 5 years in this case. So my point is that as per law, if it was not Salman Khan, would the judge have given him a lenient sentence, which could perhaps have been put in a state of suspension, maybe some, as Sanjay Dutt did, that he was let off because of his good behavior in jail. So is Salman Khan being targeted? Is he being victimized because he happens to be Salman Khan here?
Yeah, it looks like, because you punish the act or the deed which a person has committed. You don't see the person. And if the judge has passed such a remark, then I'm sure Salman has a very good point to carry it in appeal. Because if the judge has gone on extraneous grounds and he has gone personally and he has commented on Salman's status and therefore he has penalized him, then obviously he has gone beyond the four corners of the charge sheet and the evidence laid over there. And that possibly would vitiate the order with the act of unreasonableness and non-application of mind. Because a judge, therefore, is somehow or the other showing his prejudice to him, towards him, and therefore he is penalizing him. Whereas if it was not Salman Khan, possibly, therefore, what it appears is that there could have been a very lesser sentence.
This is the judgment. This is the judgment, and I want you to give us a clear legal view, and I'm quoting the exact sentence from this judgment which has been delivered. It's in Hindi, so I'm doing a literal English translation to this. It says that the accused is a superstar.
It has almost 200 pages.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the exactly relevant portion. He says the accused is a superstar, very popular superstar, and the kind of works, the kind of activities which that star is indulging in, potential of people, his fans, following those activities is very high. Knowing this fully well, realizing his responsibility fully well, yet he went and he ended up killing 2 black bucks. Therefore he needs to be sentenced to 5 years in prison and given a fine of 10,000 rupees. Is the judge exceeding his brief? Can this order, the language is being used, can this be used in a higher court to maybe build a case for Salman Khan?
So we are concerned here, Bhupendra, with the Wildlife Act. And the Wildlife Act condemns certain acts in respect of certain scheduled animals. If a person is proved, any citizen in this country, that he has violated the act, then he has to be condemned accordingly. Certainly the Wildlife Act does not allow the judge to go into the personality of the accused. And just because the person is a very big star and loved by millions of people, therefore he is being penalized and not because of his act. that possibly would be a ground to challenge this in appeal, and I'm sure the appeal court is going to look very carefully at this observation, because this extraneous observation possibly has vitiated the whole order with arbitrariness. And that is what we defense lawyers look at, a very juicy piece to argue in court.
I'm sure that's what I'm trying to understand.
This kind of a mess.
That's what I'm trying to understand. Therefore, Advaita, while I look at the legal case and I look at the statements, Advaita.
There's one more thing, Bhupendra.
Sujay, one moment. Sujay, one more. I'll come to you in a moment. I just want to say to this
there's one more thing.
I'll say to this part, Sujay, I'll come back to you in a moment. I just want to go to Advaita Kala on that part. So what we are now very clear about is this, that maybe, Advaita, there is an element of Salman Khan being made to pay a price for his superstardom. I could say that if Salman Khan is such a huge superstar, well, he should have realized his responsibilities. But look at the response which is coming from members of the film industry. Look at, I can bring you up to speed with similarities in what had happened in Sanjay Dutt's case and what is happening now. There are a lot of similarities. When Sanjay Dutt was sent to jail, exactly the same thing happened. Oh, he's our son, part of this disputed family, but happens to be a part of Indian film industry. Same thing being said now in case of Salman Khan. Are you surprised at all, or is this the way the film industry is?
Well, Bhupen, the other thing I want to draw your attention to is really the demise, so to speak, of the bad boy of Bollywood. It was a thing really in the past. And I think these kind of the ordeals that they have gone through, or they've rather brought upon themselves, has really cautioned other people that path to glamour, or that glamorous image of the bad boy really does not work out in the long run. So whatever be the lip service at this point of time, sure, there are people who have a personal relationship with him. Let's also be very clear. I mean, if he was not the superstar that he is, would they have reacted in a similar manner if it was maybe not such a successful actor or a character actor? So I think there are a lot of things that are involved in this without being too cynical. I think we have to view it in that perspective. But secondly, speaking of the judgment in itself, I think it's important that someone should not be made an example of, and that's a position I held even during the hit and run case. And I repeat the same thing now. I think if the person is indeed what has happened.
If the person holds a kind of position, if a person holds a kind of position that a Sanjay Dutt held, or holds, or a Salman Khan holds, and I can take you through an entire list. There are so many cases where high and mighty have indulged in a crime. There are many who say that Sushil and Gopal Ansal were perhaps allowed to get away in the Upahar fire tragedy case. Why? Sushil and Gopal Ansal, maybe because of their age factor, get away too easy. Why were they allowed? But look at the comparison between Sanjay Dutt and Salman Khan. Now tell me, if you are someone like a Salman Khan with the possibility of impacting so many human lives, should you not be slightly careful of what you are doing? Should there not be added pressure on you, added onus on you to ensure that you behave responsibly? So why should they not be held as an example, Advaita?
Bhupen, that is the moral argument. It cannot be the legal argument. Certainly, if you're somebody who is kind of looked up to, who is emulated, there is a moral argument that would suggest that. But if you look at it just in terms of his rights as a citizen, then I don't think it holds true. I think the other thing that we've not spoken about, and which is important, and which really can explain this judgment to us, or rather the sentencing to a certain extent, is the fact that the judge did use the term habitual offender. And you, in your own opening statement, mentioned the number of cases where there has been this kind of poaching involved, the Chinkara case, and the other cases which are due for trial. So you're looking at this from the perspective of someone who is accused of, at this point, and in this instance convicted of carrying out this kind of illegal hunting. And when we talk about wildlife preservation, which we all should take very, very seriously, especially when it comes to endangered species, I think there is a law, there is a limit to the sentencing that one can receive, and he has received the sentencing within that limitation. And beyond that, I don't think any other argument really holds, unless the judge had gone above and beyond that.
So Mukesh Tyagi, my reporters are telling me about what Salman is going through in Jodhpur jail. Mukeshji, we're being told that Salman Khan was offered patta gobi, aloo sabzi, chane ki dal and chapati, which he's refused to eat. We're being told that he has refused to even consume the tea which was offered to him post the verdict. Salman's blood pressure has shot up and it's not supposed to be normal. Now, is Salman Khan going to be made an example for the rest of the country, as Advaita Kala is pointing out, Mukesh Tyagi?
मुझे एक शेर याद आ रहा है भूपेंद्र, मेरा कातिल ही मेरा मुंसिफ है, क्या मेरे हक में फैसला देगा. So what we have seen it, I think there are two contradictory statements. If you see when he was put behind the bar in hit and run case, and before that also he was having cutting tea. The food was brought to him from the house which he refused to eat. He said, I'll eat with my jail inmates. There is a, you can verify this record. I'm surprised how come Salman is taking a U-turn from an ethical position which he had taken earlier when he was behind the bar. Coming to the point which most of the panelists have raised on whether this judgment will hold the water tomorrow or in the appellate court, I have very serious doubts, because I think judge is rising larger than life by giving a very deterring statement that no celebrity is above the law. So the motivation seems to have got little skewed here because, as one of the panelists mentioned, it is a very extraneous support of the argument which is absolutely bad in law. So I think there is a lot of issues which need to be resolved. There are emotional issues. There is the issue of a national message. There is the issue that I am not influenced by any celebrity. Then again, then the four guys.
बिश्नोई जी, अगर एक सेकेंड, अगर कल बिश्नोई जी, अगर कल सलमान खान को जमानत मिल जाएगी, अगर ऐसा फैसला आया, तो क्या आप उनके खिलाफ अपील करेंगे? ये जो लड़ाई है, ये चलेगी आगे कि ये अगले कुछ दिनों में खत्म हो जाएगी?
सर हमारी लड़ाई अभी भी जारी है. मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि जो सह अभियुक्त है, सैफ अली खान, नीलम, तब्बू, सोनाली और दुष्यंत सिंह, हम उनके लिए भी सरकार को एक मेमोरेंडम दे रहे हैं, हम ज्ञापन दे रहे हैं और ये कह रहे हैं कि जो सेशन कोर्ट है उसमें उनके खिलाफ ये कार्रवाई चलाई जाए. उनको भी बरी है, संदेह का लाभ गलत दिया गया है. और दूसरी बात, आप कह रहे हैं अगर इनको जमानत मिल जाती है, चलिए जमानत का इनका हक है, जमानत मिल जाती है, ये सेशन कोर्ट में अपील करेंगे. उस अपील के अगेंस्ट हम लोग खड़े रहेंगे कि ये कहेंगे हमारे साथ सजा गलत हुई है, हम ये कहेंगे कि इनके साथ ये, इनको तो सजा सही हुई है, लड़ाई चलेगी, साथ साथ उनको भी लीगली तो ये लड़ाई अभी तक खत्म नहीं हुई है. अभी तक तो ये लीगली कोर्ट का फैसला है.
ओके, Sujay, legally, look at what Mr. Bishnoi is saying, that he wants to stand with this fight. He wants to continue with this fight, irrespective of the viewpoint, the perception of Salman Khan being drawn by Zafar Sareshwala and many other members of the film industry, that he's such a good person. Being good, being human, doesn't matter at all as this fight now goes, maybe to higher courts, Sujay Kantawal.
I have two things to say. One is that as far as criminal acts are concerned, the good or bad doesn't make any difference, because it's the act that is punished. So it doesn't make any difference whether he does crores of charity or otherwise. That's his personal thing. I want to ask Mr. Bishnoi one thing. Mr. Bishnoi is very vehement that he is going to follow this case. Where has Mr. Bishnoi also taken up the case where 31 black bucks died in Kanpur Zoo because stray dogs went and beat all of them to death, and 11 black bucks in the same year died in Lucknow Zoo? Please, he can enlighten the entire country that is watching the debate. How far he has gone against the jail keepers over there, under whose supervision those black bucks are living in cages.
आप इस केस को इसलिए फॉलो कर रहे हैं क्योंकि सलमान खान इसमें अभियुक्त हैं, और बाकी जगह जो कुछ इस तरीके की घटनाएं हो रही हैं कानपुर में, बाकी अन्य जगह वहां कुछ नहीं करते. क्या जवाब है इसका?
जू में मरे थे, दे डाइड इन द जू.
देखिए, हमारा सलमान खान से कोई लेना देना नहीं है.
क्या
सलमान खान हिरण के शिकार का दोषी है, इसलिए हम उनके खिलाफ हैं. हमारे जो पिछले 10 साल में लगभग 800 से ज्यादा केस दर्ज हुए हैं, सभी बिश्नोई समाज के लोगों ने दर्ज करवाए.
So you will continue, but I think Sujay Kantawala was raising an important point.
में सलमान खान के
It is not about Salman Khan.
सलमान सैफ अली खान के पिता ने जज्जर में ब्लैक बक का शिकार किया था.
Sir, my limited point, Bishnoi ji, is I thank all of you for joining us on Viewpoint, is this, that maybe Salman Khan may well be paying a price for being the superstar that he is. But then, I also say that if you are a superstar, if you do enjoy the kind of celebrity cult status that a Salman Khan enjoys, then you need to be very, very careful about your activities, not just on screen, but off screen as well. Thanks to all of you for joining us on Viewpoint tonight. Let's step into a short break. On the other side, some more developments.